Hey everyone, I was working on a different video, a different combo, and I found this one incidentally while I was doing that. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you. Uh, Requires a fridge somewhere, requires a book, a red book with, let's say, 10 charges. I'm sure we could get away with fewer. A kiln, so we're going to be generating infinite power. One, two of these adjacent to the fridge and the kiln. So every time the kiln produces power, it sends that power to every outlet adjacent, and every outlet sends that power to every chargeable adjacent. So every time the kiln gets any creates any power, the fridge actually gets two new charges. On top of this, let's go ahead and throw, let's say, a scroll or a book of explosion. And again, I think we can do fewer than 10, but 10 does it for sure. A bumper down here. And just to make sure that we don't have any waste, let's put a little switch gate here so that every fireball goes into the kiln. This is an infinite combo, as long as the ball that we drop hits any part of this, hits the green book or the red book. So let's see how this works. This will spawn 10 egg balls. If any one of those balls hits the red book, this will spawn 10 fireballs. Every fireball will power the kiln. And because the fridge is here, we can get past the 30-second cooldown on the kiln and the 30-second cooldowns on the red book and green book as well. Every time we power the kiln, and also the cooldown on the mushroom as well. Every time we send a fireball into the kiln, we generate 2 electric power because we have these 2 outlets. So we get 2 charges on the fridge. This giving 10 fireballs, we're going to get 20 power to the fridge, which is more than enough to keep this thing going forever. And every once in a while, a ball, actually not every once in a while, like very often, a fireball will hit the mushroom and go ahead and bonk the egg explosion and make this perpetual. The only way this wouldn't be perpetual is if somehow we generated 10 eggs and they all decided to go left. And not just once, but like, 100 times in a row, because we have a lot of balls going on. So this is an infinite combo. Let's go ahead and see. Hope we get lucky on this drop, or else with a drop again. There we go. And I'm just now remembering I forgot to add a way to get points. So let me go ahead and exit out and try again. Hey everybody, we're back. I wanted to try this again, but I wanted to add a way of getting points. And actually, I realized while I was thinking about this that we have a good opportunity here to make infinite money because we are using outlets, which can give charges to limited triggers. So I'm going to let the basic mechanism of gaining points be a windmill. But the way that we're going to scale this actually is with a greenhouse, right? So if you think about it, a greenhouse scales multiplicatively with itself. So we actually get exponential growth from hitting this over and over again. If you're not familiar with how that works, what's going to end up happening is, let's say it takes 3 seconds to gain another digit to our money. It'll take 3 more seconds to gain another digit, and 3 more seconds to gain another digit. That's sort of a consequence of this exponential growth we're going to be getting over time. And in order to actually get this to go, we need an outlet, right? So every time we hit the red book, this will cause 10 fireballs to go into the kiln, which will create 20 power, which will give this 20 charges. So whatever 1.1 to the 20th power is, we're going to be multiplying our income by that every single time we hit the red book, which is going to be quite often because we're making lots of eggs. So this should get pretty crazy pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a ball, and as long as we hit one of these books, this thing should get going pretty good. Unless, of course, Unless, of course, we use up all the charges right away. Huh. Okay. What we can do is put a campfire there and a cactus there. So I don't even care about our original ball. I just want to create one fireball to get this thing going, to get this thing going, to get as many charges in the fridge as possible so that we don't go down to zero. And as long as we don't go down to zero immediately, we should be able to go infinite. There we go. Yep, that's more like it. And so you see the money. We're getting like 3 commas every 3 seconds or something like that. So if this goes for another minute, we're gonna have like a 60-digit number. It's just gonna keep going more and more crazy. I would normally say let's come back in half an hour, but I don't think that's gonna be necessary here. If this game does have infinities, then we're going to hit it pretty soon, regardless of whether it's 64-bit or 128-bit, whatever. It's just a matter of time before we hit infinity, if it exists in this game. It could be more like how Python does integers, and it could just have numbers of arbitrary size. That would be kind of a bummer, but also kind of funny. You see the multiplier there? You can barely see it, but the this multiplier on the windmill, it has like 100 trailing zeros. In fact, they go off the screen. And whatever our total money is now, the font is too small. You can't see it, but if you mouse over it, it'll tell you actually. That's interesting. Okay, that's a lot of digits. I do wonder if it'll go infinite. Let's give it another few minutes. Yeah, every few seconds the thing dies down a bit. It makes me think it's gonna fizzle out. But no, it's just getting slightly thinner. Like right there, it looked like it was gonna fizzle out a bit, but there was still like probably 100 balls on the screen. My lord, this number is small now. Not the number, the font. This is amazing. Ooh, right there, see it fizzled out again? We could make this safer by adding like some jump ropes here and there, more bouncers. We could ensure that this is definitely infinite, but I don't really think that's necessary. Alright, how many commas we at now? Are we past the Google? Let's see. Every comma is 3 digits. Let's just look at the top row. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So more than 25 digits per row. 4 rows is already a Google. So this is where Google squared. I'm not sure this game actually has infinity in it. You see a Google squared, so that's 10 to the 200. So that's like 2. 10 to the 200. That's like 2 to the 600. So at the very least, these integers are like 600-bit integers. So I'm willing to bet that unless they set an arbitrary cutoff, they're just using an arbitrary size number type here. Cool. Well, I know I said I wouldn't do it, but I guess just morbid curiosity is getting the better of me. Let's leave it for a few minutes and see where it's at when we come back. Okay, I was gone for like a minute. And I was just walking by the room and looked in and I saw 100 times infinity. So I guess there is infinity in this game. I wonder... I wonder where that happens. Maybe they set a cutoff of like, 10 to the 1000 or something. Anyhow, I guess this is infinite both in money and in time. Not bad. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.